Thank you, Dr. Abhayasthanaji. You're right, like Hindus outside Bharat not only do well in their professions, they are very contributing, productive, harmony and peace-loving community. Wherever they go, they treat that land as a karma bhumi and then just continue to contribute in their land. And you are right, and we Hindus, like especially next generation, has been made to feel ashamed of their own culture because of this portrayal. And whatever suggestions you made as a solution, and think we need to seriously think about it. We also find out during question answer session what is the solution we are coming up with. We have to make a network and then keep working on it. Thank you, Ji. Our next speaker is going to be Shri Muneet Dhiman Ji. His topic is Gurukulas for Modern Times, a scalable model of VidyaKshetra. Shri Muneet Dhiman Ji is an educationalist and interested in areas of education, parenting, sustainability, and system design. He is the founder and Kulapati of VidyaKshetra Gurukulam in Bangalore, a non-residential Gurukulam for the current times. His passion is in being with the students, teaching them science, civilizational studies, Itikasas, and Bharatiya Jeevan Drishti. He also heads the Acharya Nirman program for Punarutan Vidyapeeth, a 5-year teacher training program for the Gurukulam method of education. He holds an engineering degree in computer science from Delhi Technical University and has worked with the IT industry for more than 15 years, holding various management roles, including heading continental Europe for a large R&D service company. Shri Muneet Dhiman Ji.
Namaste. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I thank the organizers of World Hindu Congress, and especially Nachiketa Tiwari ji and Anil ji, who have been done a phenomenal work. My work has been made, I would say, to some extent easy because of the last session where Soni ji gave a good perspective of Panchakoshas and how important it is for the education, or how important it is for us to relook at the education model itself. Many of us, when we think about Gurukula, please raise your hand, what comes to our mind? First thing which comes to our mind is that it's residential, isn't it? Yes or no? Please raise your hand if it is yes. So most of us feel that. Second thing is that it is a Vedic Gurukulam. Yes? Again, please raise your hand if it is yes. Yes. So this is again a case of narrative which has been formed over last few years, I would say 200 years. A country that had 6 lakh plus educational institutions, as Dharampalji mentions, where few thousands were, Vedic Gurukulas. We had Agraharas, we had Vishay Gurukulams, we had Patashalas, we had Vidyalayas, we had so many different forms of Gurukulas which were day Gurukulams. And none of them exist today because the economic infrastructure of the country was changed. And if economics and education don't go hand in hand, it's a natural conclusion that the education methodology would slowly die. And that's what happened. If we see this slide, this is basically the chitta of a nation, or Rashtra, is defined by the people who are part of that Rashtra. And the chitta is formed by primarily education in the Gurukula or at home. So it's very simple to understand that. These are some of the problems that were listed by Soni ji also, that we are seeing, that the current education system is failing us time again and again, again and again, again and again. And we are still continuing with it, sprinkling Bharatiyata here and there, Just little bit, you will add some text of Bharatiyata. We will, do some shloka study here or there. We will bring some Bhagavad Gita shloka, in the morning prayer. But the whole core still continues to be the same education method which has been, resulting in this mess. Whether it is the relationship issues, the social issues that the children are facing, whether it's the spiritual issues, that the environmental issues. So many issues we have been talking about over the last couple of days. And yet, we are not questioning the basic education model. I'm very happy to hear that over the last couple of days, many people have asked, what about the Gurukula education? It's like the dire situation today. This slide, just please focus on the last, on the corner orange part. So VidyaKshetra, over last 12 years, has been working on creating the day Gurukulam model for Bharat. And because when we started 12 years ago, we had no curriculum, no pedagogy, no methodology, and we are very happy that today's national education policy talks about Panchakosha model. And this is the whole framework that we have made when we talk about, what is the curriculum, what is the pedagogy, the assessment framework, the governance framework, the economic framework, and we have integrated the Vyashti, Samashti, Srishti, and Parmeshti, the four-fold framework along with the Panchakosha to build this curriculum and the methodology. Now, what does that mean on the ground is we have currently 24 subjects. I was in Ujjain very recently for Indic Academy conference, and it was so pleasing to see that we are talking about, there is a beautiful exhibition of 14 Vidyas and 64 Kalas over there, what Krishna went through in Ujjain. It's our limitation that we are able to have only 24 subjects, where we have divided them like Vedas are divided into Ichha, Kriya, Jnana. We have Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, and Upasana Kanda. The same framework we have used for Ichha, Kriya, Jnana here. So students at VidyaKshetra, they learn 1 hour agriculture every day. We have handlooms at VidyaKshetra. What I'm wearing today is made in VidyaKshetra. And we have yoga, Kalaripaitu, we have pottery. Similarly, we have for Ichha Shakti, tabla, flute, sangeeta, Bharatanatyam, painting, and theater. We have created a curriculum of 250 experiments with Bharatiya Jivan Drishti. So it's a completely redone curriculum. I will take one example in business maths. Most of us would have studied cost price, selling price, profit loss. So what we do is we first talk about artha and anartha. We talk about need and greed. We talk about value and cost. We talk about intangible and tangible profit and relationships. We talk about the history of artha. Dhan is a very small part of artha. And that is very important to go to a student first. And then we also bring in the elements of cost price, selling price, and a lot of questions around it. So when the foundation is Bharatiya Jivan Drishti, it's easy for us to lay. Another subtle element I will tell you, what is happening in current education, we have result backward education today. Most of the children are exposed to examinations from very childhood. Even, 5-year-old, 6-year-old are graded. And then they compare, A plus or B or C grade. Now, from childhood, when a student is exposed to a result backward system, it's in contradiction to the Bhagavad Gita principle where we are saying karmanyeva adhikaraste. So where, we are talking about the always being in present, so many books have been written about it. And yet, we don't question our education system. Another thing is about control and Sanyam. Niyantran and Sanyam. Bharatiya Drishti is about Sanyam. That's how, Kumbh Mela, when 10 crore to 15 crore people come and attend, there is not even a single incident. Because of the Sanyam. Sanyam means self-control. Niyantran means control from outside. So textbooks, we have been questioning umpteen number of times. Why do we need to use them? Why the Guru Shishya Parampara was based on Shruti. There should be a lot of material for Acharyas. And that is where we have to invest, because if we are able to train our teachers, they will bring that knowledge to the children and let them create it along with the students. So that is where we have been focusing on extensively. So the first framework, based on the Panchakoshas, we have created a Vritti model, which is the foundation. Sorry, we have created a foundational model, which is the Vikas model, and the other one is for students from 16 to 21 years. So this is just a short video. Yeah, it's okay. Now, the most important question is, we have created the model over the last 12 years. All these elements are available. There is no reason for anybody to say, how can we do a Gurukula in our country? And we are ready to share it. We are ready to share it. There is no copyright, there is no patent. Because another 30, 40 years, we are gone from here. What do you mean by copyright and patenting, on this? So we have got it from some people. We want to share it freely. Our vision is 5 by 27 and 100 by 100 years of India's independence in our country. There are already engagements going in 5 parts in our country. Pune, I will just move to the next slide. When we replicate any model, there are 4 dimensions to an education system: teaching team, content and model, finance and functioning. The yellow parts is what VidyaKshetra is ready to support with the entire content, with entire models and methodology. The team has to come together, and anybody who is inspired to join, can join the trainings part that VidyaKshetra is offering. Can we move to the next slide? So we have presently, we are working with Bangalore, Mysore, Bikaner, Delhi and Hyderabad. Another Gurukula like this is going to come next year in Bikaner. We have a weekly study circle. We have a monthly outreach program in person. Then we have an annual program which is going on. There is a 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year and 5-year training programs which VidyaKshetra has. 5-year program is going on from last 6 years with Punaruthan Vidyapith, who is a mentoring organization of VidyaKshetra from Karanamati, Ahmedabad. There are more than 75 participants because the core or the crux of Gurukulam is acharyas. It takes 3 to 4 years, as a preparation time for somebody to start connecting these elements inside. When we say Bharatiya Jivan Drishti, if my koshas are not developed as an acharya, I cannot work with a student to develop his or her koshas. If my Anandamay Kosh, my Vijnanamay Kosh, my Manomay Kosh are weak, I cannot work with a child to develop his or her Manomay Kosh or Vijnanamay Kosh. It's very simple to understand. So it's about working on myself first. And that preparation requires, good 3 years. Last slide, please. So this is just a quick snapshot. Please make your initial effort very low on capital expenses. Because generally when we think of Gurukula, we talk about, I have a big building, I have a big, place, I have 10 acres, or let's invest. No, invest in the knowledge. Because if you have knowledge and if your effort is pure, the society will support you. We don't charge fees at VidyaKshetra. It has been running from last 8 years completely on Dan, Dakshina and Bhiksha model. Because again, it is important to walk the talk. When we are talking about walking Dharma, how can we sell education? Because it is something which is beyond the 3 gunas. And that is the reason we tried it and it has worked. The society comes forward and supports. So please don't be afraid of coming forward. The need of the hour, as Anand Ranganathanji told in the previous session, is 10 days, it's not 10 years. So I look forward to hearing from many folks that yes, we want to start this journey. And why only in 4 years, 5? Why can't we, make it in 15 years, more than 100 in our country and not wait for 24 years? So that's my request. Last slide, please. So this is the 3 ways we can engage. Please support VidyaKshetra and initiatives like this with Dana, because it has always been society that has supported education. Acharyas should not be worried or focused about, money aspect. That's the last thing which they should be thinking. Please step forward, become an acharya. I can for sure say that, every one of us sitting over here has done that. In our family life, in our, society life. It's just about, coming forward and structurally understanding the education methodology and the model, and it's possible. And the last but not the least, replicate it in your cities. First, we want to do it in India, but I'm pretty confident it can happen everywhere in the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Muneet Dhiman ji. Such a wonderful work and such a good initiative. That could be one of the first actionable point. I think I'll take it as a first actionable point. If anyone is interested, please do contact him.